Coming from a digital analysis background, I've always been fascinated by numbers and performance management. But one question has always haunted me: what if? What if I change the design of the page? What if I change the entire page for that matter? Will it improve performance? VW helps us iterate, learn, and deploy exceptional customer experiences across the website. A recent campaign on our codes platform helped us achieve a 40% improvement in the completion rate of the form. Thanks, VW.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first panel discussion at Seamless Indonesia e-commerce marketing channel. My name is Bess, your host for this session. We have an excellent panel who will discuss about innovating e-commerce with data and technology. Before I proceed, I would like to encourage everyone to send in your questions into the live discussion box found at the right side of your screen. So that's all for me. And please welcome our moderator for this session, Arnab Chandaranath, Head of Revenue, APAC and MEA of VWO. Over to you, Arnab.
Thank you, Bess. Thank you so much. So welcome everybody to the first day of Seamless Indonesia. And thank you so much for having me as the moderator. My name is Arnab and I head the revenue for APAC, ANZ, MEA and India at VWO. We just saw the quick video from VWO for those who doesn't know VWO. So VWO is an integrated A/B testing and conversion rate optimization platform. And it empowers businesses to enhance customer experience, increase conversion rates on both web and mobile apps. And today I have with me our panelists. I'll start with Budiono from Rupa. And then I have Indra from Line Bank, and I also have Perry from Rolali. It will be great if you can just have a quick round of introduction, guys. Budiono, you can start. We can start with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Budiono, Chief Marketing of rupa.com. So I manage all the implement and strategy about everything related to the marketing activities in rupa.com. So rupa.com is, we believe that we are a omni-channel enabler for a Kawan Lama group, which we have ACE and Informa as our business units. Thank you.
Great. Indra?
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Indra. Basically, I'm right now leading of the brand and digital marketing of Line Bank Indonesia.
Okay, cool. Great. So first of all, as I said, I'm very happy to moderate this session and looking forward to listening to your perspective, some of the esteemed leaders and veterans of the industry, and I'm really looking forward to learn from all of you guys. A couple of housekeeping details. In case if you guys have something to add, you can always do it directly, or you can use the raise hand function in case you do not want to interrupt someone. So to start off, I'd like to emphasize why we are here today. And we are here to basically discuss innovating e-commerce with data and technology, with doubling down on customer experience as the main reference, because we all realize that visible presence in online market is no longer enough, right? So I'd like to start with a couple of quotes. According to research by Esteban Klosky, 67% of customers report bad experiences as a reason for churn, but only 1 out of 26 unhappy customers complain. 91% of those unhappy non-complainers simply leave, which means you don't get to know why did they leave. And the second quote is from a report from McKinsey, and it says that organizations that leverage customer behavioral insights, they outperform their peers by 85% in sales growth and more than 25% in gross margin. So this is all about customer experience and data. And personally, I know companies where they have lots of information and lots of data coming through, but it's not necessarily coming through the from the same views, and there is a whole bunch of attribution models. You have got different data being attributed to different things and different ways in measuring the different platforms, and they try to come to one source of truth. But unfortunately, there is no one central view of customer data for you to take any informed decisions. And and this leads me to kind of address some of the important questions. And I would like to start with Budiono and ask what is roughly the percentage of customer experience decisions that are based on data or based on insights derived from data that you guys do at Rupa.
Okay, thank you for the question. So to answer your question, I think I need to explain that we started the company 6 years ago, but before the 6 years, before the inception of Rupa, we already had a customer actually, because we understand that as hardware customer and informal customer is they are our customer too, so they are in the same segment. So what we try to do is we try to enhance our customer experience using what we already have.
Right.
So we combine the insight from our business unit and use it to give maybe a personalized recommendation,
right,
to give them what they like, and we try to build a look-alike audience. And since the first inception of Rupa, we understand that is really precious. The data is that we already have is really precious. Maybe I just said that data is the new oil, but for a company who is strong in brick and mortar business, data is our new clay. And nowadays, I'm pretty sure that the number around 80 to 90%, the decision is derived from our customer data insight, both from online and offline. So we try to combine and leverage from that point to enhance our online customer perspective.
Right. So Indra, would you like to add to it, to what Budiono said?
Yeah, basically, could not agree more. But in our case in LineBank, we just started around 8 months ago. So the transition is perfectly different, right? We are aiming for Gen Z customer audience, basically who are already tech savvy. So I think on the beginning of LineBank, basically already have 90% of data is play a big role in every kind of product roadmap decision. So 10% is more toward what we know on the iteration pace and what we elaborate on probably on the P&L strategic decision. But again, in organization, trying our best to have a data-driven solution is part of our ambience at this point, basically, Arnab.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I understand. The financial institutions, they operate a little differently, right? But I guess with the COVID and pandemic, and with all the digital transformation, customer experience, even for banking or the financial services, it has completely changed the game. So going back to Budiono, things that you mentioned about customer experience and some of the product recommendations that you spoke about, right? Do you believe that's kind of gives you an upper edge versus your competitors?
Yeah, I think to answer your question, I think to explain a bit about how are we differ from our competitor, right?
Right.
Okay, so couple years ago, maybe we conduct a group session with our customers. So we want to understand actually how to give them best shopping experience, and somehow we found out that our customer have a quite high expectation when it comes to the shipping. And at the same time, the behavior of purchasing furniture online is not there yet. So the touch and feel played really big role in their furniture buying decision. So luckily, we have more than 500 offline stores across Indonesia, and that is our unfair advantage point. That means we can deliver their order faster from our nearest store across Indonesia, and that allows our customer to pick up their order even faster. And from that point, we can extend to what we can call like a returning to enhance the return management system, like so they can return their item to the nearest stores too. So at the same time, we provide the touch and feel experience to our customer across Indonesia. So to answer your question, yeah, I think I haven't seen other home living e-commerce that have big unfair advantage point like us. Yeah, I think that is set us ahead in the competition in the home living industry, right, Arnab?
Right. So that's a good point. And you do have the flexibility of 500 stores across the country. But for somebody like Indra, who started off 8 months back, so Indra, how do you think you would be able to get an upper edge, a competitive edge over other financial institutions who are there in the market and pretty much settled?
Yeah, so it's quite tough. I would say I'll completely be honest. In the digital banking sphere right now, the competition is fierce. I think in Southeast Asia is one of the would be like the best market at this moment. But again, knowing that our competition right now is getting harder and harder, we are more reliant to like customer data platform at this point, right? And then really knowing about customer behavior, more likely on very database, because we cannot go out offline, things like that. We haven't set up any kind of like offline activity at this point because we know that government have like hoard those kind of activity, right? So beyond that, we also like trying to like partnership with, let's say like something like Rupa or something else that we're trying to build at this point. But again, back to the up things would be like how to knowing and listen our customers on behavior, how they spend, how they do things. That would be like one of the foundation that we build on data on customer experience decision, basically.
Okay. One thing that stood out about what you said is the customer feedback. So would you be able to elaborate what is the kind of practice that you have at Line Bank when it comes to collecting these feedbacks? Because as you mentioned, it is very important to understand those customer behavior, which can help you to take informed decisions. And there are so many mediums and channels to go ahead and collect those feedbacks, right? So what kind of practice do you guys have at Line Bank when it comes to listening to customers' voice, feedback and stuff? What all do you do at this point of time?
So we have like these three kind of development on how we listen our customer. First is like the basic NPS that we already send like every quarter base. And then the second one will be like how to track them, like in order to like know them. Sometimes we call them in order like saying about our activity or programs, and really listen about how they talk about it and how we know that they are interested or not on those kind of things. The other one would be like we are set our loyal customer to conduct like a small FGD in the like 100 to 600% to know like kind of things, because in every town that we already like expanded right now, it's different kind of like Sumatra, Java, Jakarta, or even like Surabaya have this kind of like needs and things. So beyond that, part of like customer centric wise, we are like having this more momentum of how to get with them, not to like the basic standard. Like most of the time we all always like rely on the like statistic on things like that. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the data is shifted, right? Now part of it right now we have to like aggressively approach them. That's how we build that kind of like motion with them right now. Right.
So Budiana, would you like to add something to what Indra mentioned in terms of listening to the customer voice and the feedback? How do you do that at Rupa? I'm sure some of the stuff would be very common, like the NPS and customer stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, agree with Pak Indra. We use a kind of NPS too, but usually in our platform, in our business, we usually conduct a group discussion with our customer too.
Okay.
So because we think, I think the same. We are here like Pak Perry, Pak Indra. I think the best way to know what our customer think about us is, just ask them in a group discussion, something like that. And surprisingly, when you listen to the customer, what they really want, there are so many things that new thing that you get from them. Similar like Pak Indra. Yeah.
Okay. So this leads to a question that I'm just thinking out loud, that so you have customer feedback, and then there are a lot of data that you spoke about customer behavior, based on which you can customize the experience of the customers, right? Now, do you feel that you are able to derive the right interpretation from the data? Or do you feel that at times, because there are so many sources of data, right? So, do you feel that it's way too much of data? And if it is, then how do you go about it?
Yeah, I think I might want to add up on that one. First of all, I haven't got a chance to introduce myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Perry from melalui.com. So we are this. I'm the senior CRM and also campaign manager for melalui.com. So we are a B2B e-commerce and also marketplace that is focusing on creating the business ecosystem.
Right.
And also we are catering more on the business users. So I think to add up, from the whole discussion, by the way, this is such a great, line of speakers here. I'm very much honored to, speak, along with Pak Indra and also Pak Budiono. Okay, so I think to answer your questions, so I think it is very much important for us to, to come up with a decision that is coming from a customer experience, because I think, coming up from an e-commerce that is quote unquote niche, because we are catering those business users who, purchase stuff in wholesale or stuff like that. So I think we really need to listen more to, their feedbacks and also their inputs. I think that could lead to a lot of possibilities, that is, coming from our platform. For instance, there are lots of products and also there are lots of features, that is born in melalui.com that's coming from customer experience and also feedbacks. I think that's pretty much important, such as, there are lots of, at first, there are lots of our customers coming to our platform and they want to purchase something, but they want to purchase it, they don't want to, experience all the hassle of, going through, navigating our platform and also click on cart and stuff like that. So we came up, we really listened to them. We really came up with the features called RFQ or request for quotation. So we actually just give them form and also have the chance for them to fill out the form, just whatever you want, and then just submit it to us, and then we are going to provide to you guys in several days. So I think customer experience that is coming from data, coming from insight from customers, I think that's very much important for us here in melalui. And also, I think that's a good point for Pak Indra and also for Pak Budiono to bring up the customers' satisfaction and also NPS, because there's also one indicators that that are quite crucial for us to know whether that we should stop this or whether that we should come up with a new products or any other improvement that we need to do. So that's very much
right. So Perry, you brought a very good point about data. There are so many sources and there are so many data. Now, just out of curiosity, do you feel that are you able to translate it into insight, kind of behavior insights, are you able to translate those data into so that you can go ahead and take some informed decisions, which helps you to accomplish your business objectives and goals? Do you feel that that's kind of a challenge, or that's something you are doing pretty well at Relali? How is it at Relali? If you can elaborate on that, would be really helpful.
Yeah, so I think from us here in Relali, so we have like a couple of things that we actually try to enable to about some sort of like feedback forms or some sort of like a stuff that is actually coming from data. So that's actually one, and also number two is that we also have like some sort of like tools actually like measure or scale let's say like the traffic of like each categories that we have in Relali, such as like Google Analytics. Of course, we need to see like, what is the trend that is coming, on a certain time, let's say like for this period of time when the Ramadan is also going to be, very close. So I think this is also something that we need to see like which kind of category that is coming like, there's like getting more of the attention that is coming to our platform. And also from there that we can like, create some campaigns out of it that could like try to elevate more of the category itself. And at the same time, we are also fulfilling the needs of the customers themselves. So since that I'm also like here in charge for creating campaign,
right?
I think like being a CRM and also campaign is like a one full package of creating something that is customer centric wise is going to be very worth for our customers.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. Indra, Budiano, would you like to add something to what Perry mentioned? Anything that you guys do differently at your respective organizations?
Yeah, I think similar like Pak Perry, but in addition to Pak Perry, I think we combine to the data from our offline stores, because that is we have let's say one person, what is their behavior before they're buying what kind of furniture, or what helps them to convert in offline and online. Sometimes it creates a differentiation. So sometimes at the first time we think that okay, in offline usually this kind of product is really good in selling. Really the performance of this product is really good. Why it didn't happen in online? So I think from that point we can give more exposure. We can try to communicate, because in online we don't have a store person who can persuade, who can help the conversion. So I think in addition to what Pak Indra said, we add offline data in our decision-making process too.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. And obviously, online and offline, you need to have a very, very cumulative view or 360-degree view for you to take those decisions. Is that the same kind of stuff that you would do, Indra, at Line Bank?
Yeah. So since we are rely on data because we are online basis, so I think in addition to Pak Budiano and Pak Perry, basically we also do that, like Pak Perry said, we categorize things on how they feedback using tags. Basically, we do a lot of like CRM tools, which is omnipresent at the moment. But again, what we do at Line Bank, probably the difference would be like something toward personalization. So while we knowing them at the first thing, the category of, okay, let's say this person, this Gen Z person, toward shopping or more toward travel, we already differentiate on every kind of category, and then we build those kind of like profiling basis. So we are not trying to like hoard them from other kind of like interests, but we're trying to build more connectivity with them. But again, at the end of the day, we also like insert them to things that they might need to know. So beyond that, personalization is come from end to end, and we build on top of that kind of data. That's what we're trying to build on Line Bank basically. Since I think offline is right now it's hard for us to do that because we don't have any branches, right? So that's the part that we built that.
Yeah, but then that's a good point. But then is that very difficult, do you feel, to translate all these data into behavioral insights for you because it's all online? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, very good question. At the beginning of first 3 months, we are swarmed with any kind of data, right? So we're trying to make that kind of like categorized, like data warehouse need to be going to some kind of category, things like that. But again, at the end of the day, after we consolidate things with our customer experience team, so we talk more about how they want to achieve this kind of like experience base. So we try to like emulate this kind of like formula within us, basically how we going to listen them and how we going to like build personalization on those kind of things. Data basically at the end will be good and efficiently will be maintained to our kind of like toward the iteration, right? But we have to like knowing this kind of like data. So basically every week we have this kind of like discussion to know, okay, so what is like the common top 60% what people talking about, what's the complaint about, and things that they want to hear about in the future, what kind of like elaboration. So this is more like a baby step for us, basically. We still like 7 months old, right? Compared to Rupa is already like having kind of like billions data coming from that and rally as well. So luckily for us, data can still be neatly compartment from point of view, right? It's more easy for us because we're still young, but again, challenge is from Rupa and Pa Ferry is I think the challenge will be more from our thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
So Budiano, that's a good point. You guys being in the in the business for so long, much more than Line Bank, right? So do you feel that kind of always is kind of a difficulty or kind of a challenge for you with so much of data? Because to be honest, there is nothing called perfect data, because irrespective of how much data you have, there are still so many pieces which you'll never be able to figure out. And in current times and with pandemic and everything, the behavior is changing so drastically, with each passing day. So Budiano, at Rupa, how do you tackle that particular challenge of making sense of so much of data that you have from different sources?
Yeah. At the first, like we use data, we got a lot of data, and sometimes as simple as different platform give different measurement of data. Yeah, like the traffic, for example. Traffic, if we look from our analytical tool, from A analytical tool to B analytical tool, maybe they're a different thing from as simple as traffic. But the approach is when we have a discrepancy, what we do is we try to correspond to, I think, to measure using one consistent measurement tools. So let's say if we are measure using tools A, and then we will use the measurement in the next period, in the next range. So we comparing with the same. So that is one of our approach. And relating to our customer behavior, and that is there is no one thing that this is the data is right, the data is wrong. So what we have to do is we have to monitor. And we have to monitor in a real time. Okay, so let's say we accept this data as a right answer, or this is the right data. So we try to give a solution. We try to give them a kind of a good campaign or good pricing or good communication. And we have to listen to the feedback from the customer. Are they happy with our solution or not? So in the term of so many data, we call like a data lake and so on, and we have to understand is the data is giving customer the right solution or answer or not. So I think instead of just using data, and sometimes you confuse, am I using the right data or not, or maybe is data have a big discrepancy or not. We to accelerate things, we just deploy a solution first to a a group control group, I think, yeah, to a control group, and we monitor the feedback. What is their feedback? Are they happy enough? Will increase their happiness of a shopping experience or not? If yes, then we are on the right track. Then just deploy to the rest of control group. I think that's what the approach that we use in Rupa-Rupa, yeah.
Right. I think one important point that you mentioned, Budiano, was that monitor it real time, right? That's kind of important. Monitor it real time, right? So now you spoke about measurement also. So what kind of matrix do you kind of measure from such zillions of data and stuff? What are the key metrics that you do measure?
Okay, as a marketing person, yeah, instead
the
of
the normal standard ones, the conversion, the order values.
Yeah, I think the normal, yeah, we still use the normal, but what we use is since we have a lot of data in customer, and then what we can leverage from that data is the order frequency, which resulting in lifetime customer value, lifetime value. And that is really have a big impact and big impact on us using the offline data, because we have that kind of big data. It will resulting like we even can do a hyper personalized recommendation. So in return that we use LTV, and then we use like customer multiple attributes conversion. So let's say to get a conversion from this category of furniture, usually what is their path?
Right.
What is the initiate? Is they're using only let's say from a display paid ads, or maybe we use a remarketing. So we use a multiple attribute too as a measurement. So we understand because each category needs a different path to convert.
Right. Yeah, and I think one thing I feel that you mentioned is I guess I'm seeing that trend as well. Many retailers, they are actually moving from the conventional conversion measurement to, they are more now inclined towards the lifetime value, right? So I would like to bring Perry into this conversation. Is that kind of a similar thought process at Rolali as well, or how is it out there at Rolali?
Yeah, I think I couldn't agree more with Budiono right here. I think it is like very important for us to know each interest and also behavior of our customers, and then from there, and then we kind of put them in a boxes, and then those boxes can just go segmented or targeted campaign, or certain type of actions that we want to send towards them. I think it's very much crucial for us, especially as a marketplace, as a marketplace. Those businesses out there, they got their own stakeholders, they got their own behavior and also interests, right? From each of those interests, and then we can see what are their likeliness on coming back to our platform, and also are utilizing certain type of services that we have. Yeah, I think the most common part of it, I think I'm pretty much sure that Pak Indra and also Pak Budiono here are also agree. Let's just start with an inactive customers. I think that is a very much important key for us to pay attention to, because obviously as a platform, me at Rolali, I need to have all active users, as many active users as possible.
Yeah.
There, I think we need to know what kind of treatment that we should go to them, what kind of emails or what kind of campaign or promotion that we need to send out to them, and then from there, then we can start to scale what how are they going to react with that certain type of action or campaign? Such as like, okay, we can send out like email like, hey, we kind of miss you, or hey, we've seen that you're not been inactive, like, come back to our platform, and then we can give a certain type of discounts or free shipment fee or something like that, because that's what some of our users are very much into. I think it's personal users or the business user. I mean, they're really like into some sort of like special treatment that we can like give to them. I think that kind of tailored campaign or tailored action that we can send out to them, that's really important for us to
deliver those experiences
from Budiono, to increase the LTV of our customers and also the retention of the customers themselves.
Right, yeah. Right. So Perry, from that perspective, what do you reckon is needed from a technology perspective, right? Where you are able to, you mentioned that you yourself, you are responsible for running campaigns and stuff. So what kind of what is needed from a technology perspective to be able to better and faster design and optimize these campaigns around customer experience and personalization and stuff?
Yeah, I think from technological perspective, I think again, we want to please our customers. We want to fulfill their needs in terms of using our platform. What's in it for them that they can actually use. So I think from technological perspective, I think features that is customer centric, that is just not just, sometimes like us companies, I mean, we kind of like focus more on growth, more on how can we get like more revenues or GM fees. But I think we need to like come back to, the heart of our customers. We need to know like what's their needs. Right. I think, some features or some products that is just focusing on customers' needs and also customers' experience, that's very much important. And I think the tools that is needed to measure that, I think that's also something that we need to know in order to know and also to examine what kind of need are their needs. I think for me as a CRM person, I think to have the platform that is very much useful to measure all that, to let's say like from each campaign that we're sending out to our customers, does it work? I mean, how's the open rate? How's the conversion rate, towards the campaign that we send out to each and every one of them? I think to see that in one single platform that is like readable, that is easy to see and easy to control and also to scale, I think that is very much important for us. And also as much as, the analytics platform that we can utilize to, I think again, that I just mentioned before, to see like which kind of category that works, during a certain period of time, and then how can we scale it up? How can we maximize it? I think that is also something that we can very much look into when it comes to, technological perspective, as you just said. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Any additional thoughts, Indra, from that perspective?
Basically coming from financial industry, our metrics is quite different from Budi and Perry basically. So in terms like if marketplace wants people to like spend more time on their platform, online bank is the opposite. So we track basically on, let's say the simple way, if you transfer money to your friend, it has to be less and less and less time for each month, right? So we know that the experience is good. So less time in our apps, that's like how we measure it right now. But again, Pak Perry mentioned it well about the customer active user. That's the part of our metrics at the moment, because we know growing from there, we try to scale our user as well, and how we deliver part of like the experience part, right? The part that we always try to seek discomfort in way to improving our product. So sometimes we try to like random to call some of the users and ask more about how do you find our product is frustrating, things like that. We try to combine it with our data, whether it's matched or not, and how we track it also in with analyzation tools. That's really, really important at this moment, because as you know, financial institution is not have a liberty to use like third-party vendor, right? So we try to like pick some of them. We have to build our own data warehouse, and we try to combine it to our forecasting tools. That's probably like the most tough in financial. And since we our organization experiment, we're trying to like build those kind of like approach single day, every day, like every quarter, every year, see like how we can innovate a new way of banking. That's how we probably build it.
Right. Yeah, I know. I completely understand. You know, there are many restrictions and limitations when it comes to financial institutions. And so I would like to pick Budiano's brain around experimentation as a culture. That's something everybody is looking to inculcate and want to have a similar DNA within their organization. How does it, what are your thoughts around that? How does it look like right now at Rupa? Are you already there, or you are? That's one of your aspiration. If you can share some light, that would be great.
Yeah, the culture. This is a really interesting question, because some people, like most people think when they build the platform or the business, okay, we have to build that feature. We have to develop this function. We have to run this kind of promotion and so on. Yes, for me, for us, maybe that's important. But for an omni-channel, I think we have to focus in changing our culture too. And this is, at the beginning, was our quite maybe a bottleneck too. Yeah. And sometimes I think this is something often forgotten. Right. So we have to change the way we work,
right?
Like the way we treat our customer, the way we do promotion, and the way we send the communication, and the way we apply pricing policy, and many things actually. And we in our group here means like more than 10,000 people. This is at the beginning is really a bottleneck. So, but what we learn is we cannot push or we cannot force them. Okay, you have to accept. You have to accept this kind of culture, or maybe okay, you need to experiment because in retail, like we cannot actually in retail industry, and we need to make no mistakes, because like in the system like us, if we create mistakes, that's not only impact in our one online platform, but it will affect to another 500 stores across Indonesia. So yes, we have to manage to balance both world, between the offline and the online. But what we learn to do, if we need to educate them, we need to encourage them, encourage the team to understand the needs of omni-channel, and then the if there is a mistake, we need to let them understand why this happened and what is the solution. And sadly, thanks to COVID, I think it accelerated everything. Yeah, I think the same with we are here with Pak Perry and Pak Indra. I think we both sometimes we think, okay, because of COVID now everything is accelerated now. Everyone wants to purchase online. Usually I never think to buy a sofa online, but now sofa is one of like our strong category now. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Perry, anything that you would like to add from an experimentation culture standpoint?
Yeah, I think it's again, this is a very much interesting to talk about. I think I think when it comes to the culture that has been, I think we really need to have like one collaborative, environment in our work, that is going to support like all of the decisions that, that is, again, derived from the customer experience. I think this all comes down to like, yeah, I think this is like pretty much like basic, kind of, pep talk. I think the communication, like within the divisions itself, it needs to be like fixed, and also it needs to be like very much, collaborative, very much well executed. I think like for me, when it comes to a product or also certain types of features that are coming from the customers, I need to like convey it to like product, of course,
right.
Product team. I mean, they're like the one who's going to execute all of the features and also the coming products. I really need to like, present to them like a very viable data that is coming from customers, and then, try to have them, create, I think they have like all kinds of process that they need to be doing, such as, I think if it's in melalui.com, I think the products, they need to like come up with a low fidelity, sometimes like a mock-ups, yeah, I think, or a PRD that needs to be tested, not just to within the product team or also the tech team, but I think all related departments need to be, getting their hands on, such as like the back office, the operations. I think before the product or the features rolls out, it needs to be like, hey guys, this is like something that our customers are very dying to have in our platform, and then please work with us together, and then have it all tested. How is it going to be like? What's the UI UX of each of the features, and how it's going to help our customers? I think that's something that we need to build on. And of course, nothing is perfect, right? I think I'm pretty much agree that working interdivision is sometimes is very much quite tough. Like for me, marketing talking to tech talking to operations,
yeah.
Their own like sense of communications and stuff. So I think that is something that is still a bottleneck here. But I think again, with the good communications, with the good understanding that is coming from data, that is coming from insights from our customers, I think it will work. Okay, it would work. Just fine, I guess, if we can say it in a good communication sense, especially for Indonesian, where we're like, so like, hello, excuse me, I need to like speak about this and stuff like that. So I think that's very much important for us.
Right. So Indra, you are the one from the financial in this panel. What's the kind of culture that you have when it comes to experimentation, and because you are pretty new, 7 months old, is that kind of a very nascent at Line Bank, or where do you stand?
Okay, on the financial industry, probably like the biggest shifting on the last pandemic would be like, if you ever heard about Southeast Asia Twin Date Festival, that changed completely the way people buying things. So yeah, I think part of it, like if we know like most of people usually have this like buying purchases by the end of the day, by the end of the month, like waiting for the payday. Right now it's completely different. Like you have the twin date, you have this payday day, festival and things like that. Then that's effect on our cultural organization to work elaborately, right? Part of it, like how we believe on how the tribe will work in every division. But again, we call it like something like start week and end week stand-up meetings to profoundly assure that what we're trying to plan on the beginning and how the result on the end is not to like you expect something, you manage expectation, and you build those kind of like expectation toward the features that we might like develop in the future base, right? yeah, I would say like me being here as an enabler for both like platform like Rupa and melalui, probably like we also listen how the trends on that platform, how they use their money to spend it on Rupa and melalui probably, and things like probably we have to like have this collaborative between platform enablers, and the data is like precious things that we can like eventually to build a value creation out of it.
Right, right. So we have a question of our first question from the attendees. Any of you guys can just go ahead and pick it up. So basically the question is, how do you decide what's good versus bad for the data you measure? Example, lifetime value or the CAC. Do you set internal benchmarks for different categories or customer segments? Or do you also track some common data benchmarks to compare yourself against other players? Anyone?
Okay. Okay, maybe I will try to answer
Sure.
the question about the, I think this is from two questions, yeah. First, like, do you set internal benchmark? Yes, we have little internal benchmark for different categories and customers. So we divide the customer based on based on their behavior. Let's say what we try to find the customer segmentation is like from their purchase history, and then we combine it, we track about the likeliness between the offline and online, because yeah, like we uniquely we have one segment that like we saw a customer that they only do a browsing without a conversion. So usually this kind of customer, maybe Pak Ferry atau Pak Indra will think, okay, this customer, we have to win back. We have to launch the win back campaign to this customer. And we try to launch the win back campaign, but it didn't work. And we try to dig deeper. Actually, this segment of customer, well, we think, okay, we got the wrong or bad data and so on. But no, we have the right data. So what's wrong? The customer, they browsing and they never convert. The answer is when we try to combine between the offline, they browse in online, but they convert in offline. So it will be useless if we try to, okay, we have to win back this customer. Okay, we have to do launch a campaign and to the churn customer and so on. But this customer there is a segment of customer that something similar like this. So we cannot say, sometimes we think, okay, this data, we got this data, okay, we assume that this data is good, okay, so we craft the solution, we try to think about the solution, and we launch the solution, we deploy the solution, it didn't work. Okay, so the data is wrong. Maybe we don't understand our customer enough. We need to dig deeper. So yes, we set internal benchmark for a different kind of customer. So learning from the experience. So there is a lot of things that unique never happen in the retail before. Then we find out in the offline and online in omnichannel customer too. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, to know this is good or bad of the data that we got, we really need to track. Maybe now we need to track it in real time. So our data team, they try to set up a platform that can provide us in real time data measurement. That is quite important since we deal with the offline and online customer. Yeah, I think hopefully that answered the question.
Right. I think it's a good point that you mentioned, dig deeper into the data, because I do see companies setting up teams with a lot of data scientists specifically to dig deeper into the data and not just scratch the surface. Perry, would you like to add something to what Budiano mentioned around good data versus bad data?
Yeah, I think I'm also totally agree. I think with the point of view, I think well, what we can say about bad data, I think something like if like the CAC like goes higher or like the LTV like goes like even like lower. So I think that's kind of bad. I think from that kind of bad data, I think what is something that needs to be coming out from it. I mean, how to like elevate it, how to like increase like the LTV, and also how to like decrease the CAC, because I think at the end of the day, again, yeah, I think just what like this core forum is how to increase like the amount of the customer experience, how likely they are who's going to like using our platform and such. I think and also if you want to like set into like benchmark, I think like right now, like I also like do have like our own KPI and also benchmark to in order to like keep it on the same wavelength, keep it on the same point. So I think yeah, I think we do have that one that we need to like constantly evaluate, or something that we need like to be taken care of like every single week, or every single like 2 weeks, or every single month. So we need to like come up with that, and then what's the action, what's the what is something that could be possibly coming out of it, and then also if the result is there, and then we're going to like constantly coming up with a good stellar features or products or campaigns that is going to cater their needs, and also their likeliness on coming out to our platform.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. So we are almost getting to the end of this session. So Indra, anything that you want to add around the good data versus bad data? Because you being from the financial institution, I'm a little curious about how do you look at it?
Okay, so to jump to Pa Budi have this basic foundation of how to concern about it. Basically, I would say there's no such thing like a bad data or good data. It's all about learning,
right?
Things like that. Because to share more about, I've been using one of the group from Pa Budiano, like S Hardware. When I browse something on the mobile phone, and then one of the customer service came to me, Pa, there's like a voucher here, and then you can use it on the purchase of offline. That's combined all together. But again, how to measure it, that's the most important thing. That's what I learned from Pa Budiano teams, basically. So I would say learning is important. The way sometimes we forget about how we treated user as a human. That's the most important part about bringing the digital on how we can give more solution to people.
Right. Great point. Yeah, learning is absolutely, you can always get hidden winners from the data. If there's nothing called wrong data or bad data. Great. So, I think, as I mentioned, we are almost to the end of the session, and I'll quickly summarize as to what we spoke about, and I guess we all can agree that there is nothing like perfect data, but that's an important conclusion. But I guess we can definitely dig deeper, monitor real time, as Budiano mentioned, and derive learnings, as Indra mentioned. And other than that, I think one significant change that we are seeing is people moving from the matrix should be customer lifetime value, and not just the conventional the order values or the conversion itself. And again, at the end of the day, the customer experience is key. So decision making on customer experience is going to be decentralized, so that everyone is able to run experiments and make decisions to optimize the eventual customer experience. So yeah, that's all from me. And thank you so much, everyone, for adding your thoughts and interacting and participating in a session like this. It was a great conversation, and I definitely had a lot of learnings myself. And I believe many of our attendees has similar resonance. With that being said, we will close the session. Thank you so much to all the panelists, Budiano, Indra, Perry. Really appreciate you taking the time out and sharing your experiences and making yourself available for this. So, being VWO, all I'll say is keep experimenting, keep innovating, and those thoughts, with those thoughts, take care, everybody, and till we meet again, probably in person next time, and probably very soon. So, all right, stay safe, stay healthy, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts. Thank you all, and please stay tuned for our next session. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.